Hey everybody, welcome back to TomGirl, where we talk all things sports, entertainment, fashion, and adventure. And today we have founder and force behind Moviebar Productions, Esther Turan, and she'll talk about her current projects and how she's creating opportunities for women in Hollywood. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everybody, welcome back to TomGirl for another TomGirl Tuesday. I'm your host, Jurgens, and Esther, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Yay. You have so many different projects going on, and you're also, let's start actually out by, you're fairly new to Hollywood. You're only like a year here or so now?
Yes, I believe it's a year and a half. Yes, I moved here from Europe.
We were talking about the weather when you came in, so what are you thinking about all this rain that we're having in sunny Southern California?
Exactly, like what's happening in Southern California. It's a bit depressing. It reminds me of home though, and I like to be depressed, so it's fine.
So it works for your projects.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your home and where you come from.
Okay, so I'm from Hungary, which is a small country in Central Eastern Europe. I'm a film producer and I'm also a director. And it was always my dream, even as a child, to make it in Hollywood and to come here. So no matter what I do in Europe, but it's so exciting to be here.
What was it that made you like make that jump to come over here?
I just felt that our production company, Moviebar Productions, is known in Europe in a way, and I always search for more and more advantages in my life and challenges. So I just felt that this is the time, and I'm confident enough in what I do, and I have enough experience, and there were so many exciting projects with some American involvement. So I just felt that this is the right time for me to make this move.
What kind of processes did you go through, like getting ready and transitioning with that move?
What do you mean?
Like just like finding a place out here, you know, moving your company, like what kind of like decisions or, you know, challenges did you go through?
Yeah, well, I'm still very much connected to Europe because the headquarters of our company is in Budapest, and I go back and forth for shoots and for projects. So I sort of have like a double life. But yeah, I mean, I kind of knew where I don't want to be in LA because it's so widespread, and I didn't want to be like hours for just driving in the car. So I kind of knew the location where I wanted to be, and I just arranged everything surrounded by that area. Yeah.
What was the area that you chose?
I mean, it's close to Beverly Hills, close to West Hollywood. It's close to everything, close to Culver City. It's a very central spot. Yeah,
that's great. Can get you less time in the car. Let's talk about some of your projects that you have. You have so many, and I know one of them we have up here is the Field Guide to Evil. Can you tell me about that project?
Yes, it's my pleasure to talk about it. So we have a North American opening on the 29th of March. It's a horror anthology. 8 directors teamed up from all over the world to create this feature film. Every director chose a folk tale from his or from her country, which has horror elements, and it's pretty dark. I mean, you can imagine. I'm not a huge horror fan, but I really like the idea of showing subconsciousness and dark side of folk stories. I really like this idea because I think that there is a meaning why you use horror elements. You're not just entertaining, but you're actually saying things with showing deeper subconsciousness of certain countries. So
how did you get the 8 different directors involved or decide on which ones would be involved?
It's a good question. Actually, I entered to the project slightly later when my director, whose name is Peter Strickland, and he's a British director, he was already chosen. And since he has a Hungarian wife, he chose a Hungarian Transylvanian folk story. So that's how I entered to the picture, because they wanted me and they wanted us to produce it. Yeah.
What kind of things, just because we're talking about horror films, what kind of things scare you?
It's a good question. Sometimes I dream about not passing my A-levels, and I'm being serious.
Not passing your what?
My A-level tests.
What are A-level tests?
Math, Like
okay.
I'm afraid of not being able to pass my math tests. No, but yeah, that's one thing that still scares me.
Yeah.
No matter how old I am.
Because you're the creative brain, right? Like,
I
going
am.
over to
And
films.
it's funny, because very ironic, because actually my granddad is a pretty known mathematician, so, but still, I'm scared.
So your granddad's a mathematician, and didn't I hear your family was also involved in entertainment, though, as well? Your
that's
parents,
correct.
or?
My dad and my aunt. My dad is a playwright, and my aunt is an actress, so I kind of grew up in that theatrical background.
You got the bug from them to get involved in it?
Yes, yes.
What was kind of your process in becoming choosing the route to become a producer and director?
So I was very much into acting when I was in high school, and I took seriously some acting classes. And then I think it's also because of my aunt. I just realized that it's very difficult to be a woman in this industry, and I realized that it's especially very difficult being an actress, because you are depending on so many other people. And I think I'm much more selfish, and I realized it at a very early stage that I want to be in control, and I want to create, and I want to create opportunities, and I want to create, and I want to control, and I want to do my own thing. So back then I didn't know that I'm going to be a producer, but I chose a different path, and I went on studying directing. And then from that stage, I jumped and I became a producer.
And who are some of maybe the earlier people that you worked on? Did you have mentors, or how did you get your career really to take off?
It's a good question. So first of all, my mentor was my dad and my aunt, and just what I learned from them and from their friends, and it's pretty amazing, my childhood, how I saw all those amazing actors. And also when I was little, it was still a different regime, because it wasn't democracy, it was still socialism in a way, and all those people with their art, they sort of like rebelled against something in a way. So it was very interesting times, and interesting period, and interesting people. And then I was still in elementary school when the regime changed, and sort of we became democracy, our country. But anyways, when I was in film school, after my freshman year, one of our professors asked us who speaks English and who wants to volunteer in an American movie. And obviously I raised my hand. So I was 20 after freshman year, serving coffee for actors like Sir Ben Kingsley or Patrick Dempsey. And that was, quite a life-changing experience, just to be on an American shoot and just to see how they work. That was a very important moment in my life.
And then when did you decide to create Moviebar Productions?
So I finished film school, and I didn't know what I want to do. But then all of a sudden I realized I should jump into producing, and I have so many things to say, and I should team up with other people. And freshly out of film school, I decided, I don't know how I had the courage, but I decided that I'm gonna establish Moviebar and my own production company.
Yeah, you were just fearless and went for it, huh? Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
And what have been some of the challenges that you faced with your company, or along the way that maybe you didn't see coming?
Yeah. So I teamed up with another female producer. She was back then one of the best production managers of our country. And so it's two young women all of a sudden out in the market. Let's produce. So the first challenge was fighting for us taking seriously, I guess. I always had this problem at the beginning that I am in my early mid-20s, and men especially don't take us seriously enough as producers, I guess. So I always needed to fight and show just extra everything to get this sort of like the seriousness, or to get the right treatment. But it changed. So that was the first challenge I think that we needed to face.
How did you make that change? Like through your work ethic or what you showed them, or how? What do you say are some of the keys to shifting that mentality that they have out there?
It's a good point. I think that you have to believe in yourself, and when you just start something, then you have a lack of confidence in yourself, right? So I think that what helped us, and this is something that I can pass on to other women, that you should relax, because with time and with experience, the confidence will come, and then you can overcome so many things that you're insecure about at an early stage. So I really think that personally, time helped, and experience, and how I gained confidence in what I do.
When it helps when you have, we talked about one of your projects, but you have so many others as well. And we pulled a few more pictures of those. I might pronounce this wrong. Is it Undergaro?
That's it's funny. It's the Swedish title for that. It's in English. It's called Swoon.
Okay.
And this is a Swedish feature film that I just recently co-produced, and I just got back from Stockholm, and believe me, the weather is harsher in Stockholm than in Southern California, so no complaints about the rain today.
You'll deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then tell me more about about Swoon and working in the project.
So it's an honor. I was very honored being part of it. Our directors, there's a director duo, Björnstein and Måns Marlind, they are called. Two Swedish directors. They are known also in the US because they directed Midnight Sun, for instance, which is known here, or they are the creators of FX's The Bridge TV series. So this is their latest feature film, and it's about two families in the 1940s, two Swedish families in the 1940s, and they both own amusement parks. And the son of one of the families and the daughter of the other family, they fell in love, and the two amusement parks become one. And it's a very sweet and very cute romantic story. And we needed to build an entire 1940s amusement park in Budapest, in a backlot. And we recreated parts of Stockholm in Hungary.
Wow, so it was quite an undertaking.
Yes.
From this one.
And we have some stars in the movie. We have Zara Larsson, a pop star. She's actually coming to LA not too long. I think in a couple of months. We use an ABBA song in the film, and some of the biggest names in Sweden are taking parts in the movie.
I've watched clips of your trailers and such for your projects, and they're all just so beautiful and like just
Thank you.
Yeah, just really emotional. Like, how would you describe, I know it's maybe different than the horror one, but in general, kind of the things that you work on and the look that you go for?
It's a good question. I think we are very much into details. Our department is a very important thing for us. So people who come to work with us, or people who come to shoot in Hungary, they are interested in, heavy sets and our department and production design and details and styling, and we have it all, and we can recreate amazing things for less. So that's one of the reasons why people come to shoot with us.
Now, would you like to do more projects here, or also maybe develop more projects here and then take them back and shoot there? What's your thinking on that?
So I do both. I attract productions from here, not only to Hungary, but to Europe through us, because we have so many sister companies and connections, and we can help, and we can, hold an American filmmaker's hand and just, assist in whatever is needed. But my other dream is, and actually I'm working on that, is to develop my own content in the United States and to team up with American filmmakers, and it's actually happening. So I have quite a few projects in different stages where I want to create things here, not necessarily being shot in Hungary, but just being involved creatively in a lot of things that are important for me.
I know one thing that is important for you was creating more opportunities for females in Hollywood. What are some ways that you're creating those type of opportunities?
So I really think in general that it's so important, these changes that are happening right now in our industry, and it was just about time. So even before this Me Too movement and even before this change, I naturally felt the urge, and as I said, I teamed up with another female producer and we formed a company that's run by females, and also the people who are working around us, most of them are women. And I also teamed up with another female director and we started a documentary series. So I do have this need in me because I think it's a little bit different working with women in a way. I think we understand more each other from half words, if you know what I mean. But obviously I'm working with talented people no matter their gender. And also in Hollywood, I just want to be sort of like maybe a bridge for American female filmmakers, how to team up with European female filmmakers. I think it would be just a nice, very nice flow. I also love the fact when, and this is also our case, when female filmmakers team up and they portray something that's very masculine. I think it's also super interesting. So in our documentary series that I'm directing, we are portraying, for instance, musical subcultures which are pretty masculine in a way. But I do it with another woman. And now I'm working on a feature film, and I might do an American version for that, where the lead, the main character is a woman, but I'm writing it with other women, and the cinematographer might be a woman, and some of the producers are. So it's just nice to talk to a female audience about female characters and team up with other female filmmakers.
I love that you're tackling doing things that you say are like normally thought of as being stereotypically male. I'm assuming like you have your documentary. One of the genres you focus on is hip hop.
Yes.
Right? Was that for that series? You're talking about you're with the female?
Yes.
Yeah. So I love that you're busting down those doors that you might not think that two females may be producing a documentary about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was also difficult to approach those people. Oh, what can two chicks know about underground hip hop? Let's see.
And the way you cut that, at least from what I saw from the trailer too, it is edgy and it's not, it doesn't have a soft female edge to it, right?
Not at all.
Yeah.
But we maybe touch different topics than if two men would team up, they would touch. Like, for instance, we talk about female MCs or female involvement and minorities, etc., etc.
What is that? Is there a voice that you like to bring, like as a female, like a different sort of like female voice to projects that you work on?
If there's a different voice?
Yeah, I mean, is there, I guess, let me reword that. Is there, sometimes do you think you can take a different angle, maybe on a certain project, too, that you might be able to bring out something of that maybe a male counterpart wouldn't be able to see?
I really think so. I really do think so. I really think so. In every project that I do, I'm trying to, I don't even think that I could escape that. I mean, I do have this female approach to everything, and yeah, I wasn't thinking about it, but yeah, it's everywhere. It's in every project that I deal with. I more believe in the way how I choose topics that are interesting for me. That in that sense you can feel that I'm a woman. But on the other hand, for instance, when we talk about subcultures, a man could have easily chosen those topics too, but we have a different approach. So it depends.
Yeah. Different ways of just bring it all out together. What have been some of the ways that I think we had a picture, it might be number 8 in there, Andrew, of you guys like at South, is that your partner? Or is this somebody else?
No, that's someone else who was also involved in the Field Guide to Evil horror anthology. And exactly a year ago, we were at South by Southwest, and that's where our premiere was, which was very exciting.
what have been some of, like, yeah, how was that experience, and what have been some of the other events that you've gone to try to grow your business and get your films out there?
I feel really lucky that we could open at South by Southwest, and also in terms of timing, it's just unbelievable that a couple of months after I moved to the U.S., I had the chance and the opportunity to go to South by Southwest with one of my movies. That was the first time when I gave interviews in English. So even from that practical point of view, it was a challenge and it was fun. I wasn't sure how am I going to handle that, but I really enjoyed it. The only thing that was a bit sad is that I wanted to attend on some of the happenings and I couldn't because we were so busy with press and promoting our movie. But it was so much fun.
Yeah, I've never been there, but I've heard it's just such an amazing event. Congratulations for being there right out of the gate like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
There was also, I pulled a shot of you did a collaboration. Was this a collaboration with Nikon?
Yes, it's actually so we started out our production company as a production company for TV commercials, and we still do quite high-end stuff. We just finished actually a Pantene campaign from the United States, so I happened to make the link from here. You know, I attracted the entire campaign to there. And yeah, this Nikon campaign, we did it, I think 6 months ago or 7 months ago, and it's not out yet, so I'm not allowed to tell all the details about it. But it's gonna be. We did a documentary on a photographer, who is one of the faces of Nikon, and we also shot, you know, a TV ad. It's a nice project.
So it's great. You have such a wide range of projects that you work on.
Thanks. Yeah, trying. I don't want to be bored, so I need a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything. But I have a fantastic crew, so it's not me on my own, but wonderful people. My partner, Vicky, her name is Vicky Trapper, back in Hungary. So it's really great that, you know, I have her and I have other wonderful people. We have a production manager, line producer actually. So we have man in our team, and we have other fantastic people.
What do you love most about your job?
To dream. To dream, just to wake up with an idea and then go all the way through, and no matter what it takes to execute it and to follow the dream. I think that's what I love the most.
And where do you get that drive from? Like, what pushes you?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I just always felt the need, you know, to tell people things that are interesting for me, and I just always wanted them to share those things with me, I guess. So I always wanted to have causes, like for example, let's think about the documentary series that I direct. For me, it's an important thing to talk about my past, how I was as a teenager, how I was connected to certain subcultures, how I was raised in Central Europe, why I was attracted to all those subcultures, and what those things give to me and to others. So it's a cause for me. And when I can share it with others, then that's the best thing in the world.
Do you like watching, like when you see your stuff screen, like watching the faces and the reactions from the audience?
Yeah, I mean, especially when, for instance, you have a premiere and the people are involved who were part of somehow the project or the scene, and then to see their reaction, it's also pretty amazing. Yeah. And just to get any feedbacks, we recently won an award in Hungary for our documentary. And
Congratulations!
Thank you. So it's also a new thing for me because I haven't got that much awards in my life, and when you get such a positive feedback, then it's the best.
Yeah, and then it's just the beginning. More awards. I have a feeling to come.
Thanks.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. We have a new segment here at TomGirl. It's called the TomGirl Timeout, and each week we're gonna throw maybe a few photos we found on Instagram or some stuff we might see in the news of just some TomGirl moments from some fun folks throughout the week. So this one right here, you may not recognize him from the back, but you do know him. It is Chris Paul. CP3 posted this on his Instagram. He is at the Houston Rodeo. So for those who didn't know, Chris Paul is actually actually a cowboy as well. Next up, we have Jesse and Eric Decker, probably one of my most favorite couples in the world just because they're very entertaining and fun. And they are on vacation in Cabo, and this is the two of them doing some handstands. And then next up, Drew Barrymore, who we've all loved since the ET days, and she just gets just better and better and better and better. And here she is kissing a rainbow trout. So she's not afraid to go fishing and get close and put her hands on those fish. But she did say in her post, don't worry, she let the fish go and said for it to have the best life. This one, Tanya Rad, love her video. Guys, listen to the Ryan Seacrest show in the morning on Kiss FM. She got to do her first hosting of E-Daily Pop this week, so we were so happy for her, and also just made me so proud that she did it with a nice cold one sitting right in front of her, which is a total TomGirl thing to do. So I love that she embraced a new gig with a nice cold beer. And last but not least, Kit Hoover, one of my absolute favorites. This was her dealing with all the rain that we've had in LA this week. She finally gave in and succumbed to it, and her boys had an indoor dunk contest. So there's actually video of her on her Instagram of her driving this dunk home. So another great TomGirl moment of the week. All right. Okay, back to you.
Fun photos. I really like those.
Yeah, I mean, it was really fun to kind of, you know, with the rain, I guess we had a little more time to go through and look at different Instagram posts.
I love the one with Tanya and the beer. So next time when I come, please, can I have wine?
Yes, you got it. Yeah, I will write that down for sure. I need to do that. I'm glad now you'll have to come back. Well, let's talk about where can people watch your films at, your commercials and things.
So we have a website. It's moviebarproductions.com, and some of our stuff are in there, and we're more than happy if more people watch our content. We also have a website for our documentary series called bpunderground.com, and the first episode about hardcore punk, which is another masculine subculture, is available. The second episode about hip hop is still running in movie theaters and in festivals, so it's not online yet. Field Guide to Evil is going to be out in movie theaters and out in so many other platforms in the United States from the end of March. Swoon, the Swedish film, I'm sure it's going to be sooner or later in the American market, but not yet because it was just released in Europe. Yeah, I think for now, pretty much that's what we have. I mean, we have some other TV series and some other things, but yeah, I'm not sure if they are up on the website.
Any other projects you may not be able to talk about, but any other things like in the works or things that you're excited about?
If you're gonna promise me, JJ, that you're gonna cross your fingers, then
Got 'em.
So I might be involved in a Netflix TV series, which is based on a Second World War story, a true story, and it's again like I was mentioning causes, that causes are very important for me. So this would be not just another job, not just another project, but definitely something very important for my heart, talking about the Second World War and Central Europe and whatever happened. That's something that I would love to do.
All right, we'll keep them crossed for you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you were such a pleasure. I appreciate you taking the time to come on here so much. And I can't wait to watch what you do next and all the great things that will be coming out.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me, for having me. And I hope I can be back and I can tell you some more good news about me and update you.
Yeah, you're welcome to come back anytime you want, and I promise wine.
Thanks. We are also on Instagram if someone wants to follow us. Also Moviebar Productions and BP Underground, the documentary series about subcultures. That's Budapest Underground on the Instagram, and everyone is more than happy to follow us.
Okay, there you go,
or
guys.
To reach out if someone wants, any advice from Europe or from a European filmmaker who's located here. You can reach out to me, and I'm here in LA, available. I can help, especially indie filmmakers or female filmmakers.
Since you just mentioned that, are there any quick bits of advice that you would give people?
I just think that literally everything is possible. don't take any advice from anyone, but trust yourself and just, focus on that, and it's gonna happen. Hard work, focus, strength, and it can be true.
Okay, there you have it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us again here this week. Everybody have a happy International Women's Day on Friday, and we'll see you here again next Tuesday. Have a great weekend, the rest of your week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.